Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Josh, and this is not my beautiful 79 Corvette. This is a 2018 Lexus IS 350. We took the car out for a joyride one night and left it on the valet parking, and unfortunately the next day woke up and saw this damage being done. Right, so as you guys can tell, the damage is not super severe, but luckily the glass didn't shatter, which was great. But this whole portion did break, the shell, everything else broke. So what I bought this whole replacement part, the outer shell and the bottom part. It's 3 parts. So essentially what I've seen and what I've noticed I have to do is remove the whole mirror. There's gonna be some wires and some cables going through for the electronics of the mirror. Replace all that, and I'm gonna do it inside. So we'll see how that goes. And as I mentioned, I did buy Lexus genuine parts. So this is the shell. It's matching color paint, which is great. This is the part that goes in the bottom. So this is going to have the ambience welcoming light under it. And then this is the mirror housing or the encasing. Doesn't come with any screws, any instructions, anything. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and try it myself and see how that goes. Alrighty guys, so for this step, it's fairly easy. Before removing the full door panel, all you have to do is remove a couple of tabs. One, you have to remove this tab right here. You have to remove this tab right here, and you have to remove this right here. What you need is a screwdriver. I'm just gonna pull towards yourself without damaging the plastic or the leather trim too much. There's the first one. And then the second one, I have kind of pre-removed this one just because of the one-handed action. But you'll see there's 2 screws here, and then there's 2 screws here. I'm sorry, 1 screw here. Next up, you're gonna go ahead and grab your screwdriver very gently and put it in between. Open it just a little bit, and then with your hand, you're just gonna go ahead and remove this. There's a cable here that you will have to disconnect. Don't worry about this. This is an aftermarket thing that we did to put lights on it, so you don't have to worry about it, but that's fairly it. And this is the part that we just removed. Pretty straightforward. It just has that one clip which goes to here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Toyota is very good at making things very easy to replace and fix, so we are happy for this. It's not over engineering like my other cars, so happy for this. Now, as I mentioned, there are 2 screws, one here and one here, and then there's a third one right over here. We have to remove those. They are different screws, so make sure you are aware of which screws you're removing and where they go. Here's the one that goes into the handle, and there's a black one, a smaller one here. Here's the other one. As I mentioned, it's a smaller one compared to the one that goes into the door holder. There's a smaller one by the door handle, so don't confuse those 2. Next up, there is a little screw right here that we have to remove as well. So it's an even smaller screw. So we have to remove this one as well. Now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm going to gently from the bottom try to pry out the door. If it ever comes up. And yes, it's gonna sound like it's breaking, but trust me, it's not. You just gotta be gentle until it fully comes up. All right, so there are a few cables that are holding the door together. I don't want to cause too much pressure, but essentially what we need to do is remove these 2 plastics. Here's one and here's the other one. These are the 2 plastics we're going to remove because that's where your screws are going to be at. I don't want to keep this door holding for too long, so I'm going to try to do it as fast as possible. There's also a cable, this one. Remove this. Okay. And this one's the one that holds the mirror, so we have to remove this one. So we're going to remove this cable, gray cable, because that's the one that controls the mirror motor. So we have to just kind of pry this out a little bit. There's a screw right under here. You can remove it. I just want to pry it out just a tiny bit because this one we're gonna remove it. This one also has a clip here that we have to remove. So just try to be gentle. Well, I broke it. Well guys, I broke it, so please don't do that. Try to be more responsible with the car. But anyways, we'll remove it and then that mirror should come out once we remove the screws from here. All right guys, hopefully this is a better look at it, but essentially what I did is I pried this open. This is the cable that's holding everything together from the motor, and I broke it over here. This little piece right here broke. Just be careful, don't break it. Mine broke. It's not a big deal, but you don't want things to continue breaking, so let's continue. Just a quick note, something that I noticed is that there's a couple of bolts here. There's two here and there's two here. But one thing that I noticed is that the window is right in between the bolts and the window. So I can't remove the screws unless I either take the window down or bring the window down. So we're gonna try that. So to do that, you grab your little instrument. You're gonna turn the car on to where it gives you enough power to turn the window on, and then we're gonna connect this and we're gonna lower it. All right, so that did the trick. Let's go ahead and turn the car off. All right, so that did the trick. So luckily now the screws are exposed. Once again, these are 10mm bolts, so we're gonna go ahead and remove those. Guys, one thing to note is get an extension. You'll most likely need one, and by an extension I mean this right here. And the reason for that is because you won't be able to reach without it. So you will need an extension for this job. So make sure you get one before you start. And essentially this is what it looks like. So let's see. All right, here's the first one, 10mm. Put that to the side. There's another one up top. Here's the second one. And here's the last one. 3 screws. And your mirror should be able to come up fairly easy. All right, after removing all those screws, you should be able to get this thing out fairly easy. Seems like a... Oh, there we go. Well, for a second there I thought I was struggling. All right. All right, so here it is in all its glory. Here's the green cable that I told you guys about. Here's the part that broke on me, so be sure not to break it. Feels a lot bigger when you're holding it, but here it is. 3 screws, cable, and mirror. And here's the part that was damaged. So now what we're going to go ahead and try to do is we're going to go ahead and replace this whole area and make sure that it looks pretty for my wife and make sure she's able to drive it. All right, and because it is already broken, I don't necessarily think there's a problem with me breaking it even more. What I'm thinking is I have to remove the outer shell first to get to the screws to make sure that I remove the mirror without breaking it even more, as well as the signal and the welcome entrance light. But yeah, let's see what happens. And guys, just for a quick comparison, I'm also looking at the new one, and it seems like there are a couple of screws. So I was trying to remove from here and trying to pry the shell, the white shell open, but by looking at this, it seems like there's a couple of screws that hold these two pieces together. So like this pretty much. So there's a couple of screws here, 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 and here that hold these two pieces together. So even if I try prying this thing open right here, it's not gonna work. All right, so I tried prying it out like that, the forms that I just talked about, and it didn't work in any particular way. So I wonder if I can just pry the mirror. All right, woo, that was scary. All right guys, so there are a couple of cables. This is essentially what it looks like. And there are a couple of cables that are holding the mirror right here. I don't think that we want to mess with these cables because that's probably what's around this particular cable right here. So we don't want to mess with those. But I do have access now to the screws that I was telling you guys about. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those and continue working on this. All right, so in total I've removed 5 screws. They look about this size. Very tiny screws. I've removed 5 of them already. Nothing too crazy, nothing too hard or difficult, but now everything's coming apart. So this is the old shell, as you guys can tell. It was just a tiny little piece right here that broke off, but nothing too crazy, but you know, nothing, I mean, needed to be replaced. Here are some pieces. So this part broke off fairly not bad. But this one right here, this one's the one that just completely shattered. So this one's the one that was giving me the whole trouble. Here's the ambience light. There's a connection here, the welcome light. There's a small connection. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that because I don't want to kind of have it jumping around. So let's remove that. And then let's see what's the deal with these cables. Man, this is weird. I may just go ahead and just break everything, this whole piece off actually. Oh, never mind, I don't need to break it. Ah, that's great. All right, here's the main piece. This one's the one that shattered in a million pieces. As you guys can tell, is a freaking disaster compared to the new one that I have. Same material, same style, same everything. Just brand new versus highly used. All right, let's continue. So now this goes right over here. I thoroughly enjoy how Toyota does their things. They're just very good about doing some of these things, making it easy for everyone. Let's see. I just want to be very careful with those cables. I don't want to have to break them because then if I break them, that becomes an issue. And I just realized there's another light. Oh yeah, this is the welcome light. Okay, sorry guys. So this is the signal light, sorry. And this is the welcome light. This one's the one that lights up whenever you get close to the car or when you open it. Oh, there's a dead fly, whoa. And then this one's the one that signals when you're turning right. Guys, one thing to note is, I know it was off camera, but when I removed the mirror, I pretty much pressure right here. So the mirror kind of was looking the other way. Put my hand and started pushing up, or pulling actually. So that way it would come off easily. That's the only thing I did. It was a bit of a snap, so you don't have to pressure it a lot. You just have to make sure that you're grabbing the mirror in a kind of complete way, not prying it out, because if not, you might break it. And that would have been a disaster. That would have been a video that you guys would have never seen from me because I would have never posted it. So make sure don't do that. All right, so we have to add the screws and then we have to add this part as well. And this part pretty much snaps in here. Make sure you have your welcome light on, or your welcome light, make sure it's installed correctly and properly. There we go. And then we have our signal light that goes in here. So there we go, this clips in here. You guys know what's interesting? What I noticed is that the screws attach everything together. So you kind of have to just hold everything together to make sure that everything fits as it should. Which is not an easy task, because it would be a lot easier if I could just kind of screw some things in and then wait for the other ones and then screw the rest in. But apparently that's not the way it works. So not a good thing, but we're gonna go ahead and do it regardless. So if you guys can see here, what's happening is there's 3 pieces that are trying to get attached together. The main frame, the supports that goes to the car, the bottom portion, and then I have to attach it to this big one, which is not an easy task. And I'm trying to find a way to do it where I'm not really messing with the mirror or anything, but it's really not that easy. So we're gonna give it a second try and see if it works in any other way. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but continue. what I'm thinking I'm going to do is go ahead and tape this one so it stops moving, because it just keeps moving and it keeps coming out, and it just doesn't help it. It doesn't help my cause at all. There you go. By the way, quick thing to note, the reason why I know it doesn't go like this in here, or like this, or like that, but it goes essentially like this, is because there's a little clip here that goes right inside the black portion. So that's how I know that this goes like this. But again, it doesn't hold it or anything. It just kind of gives you that the guidance, pretty much. It guides you that, you know, that's the correct way. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape it, nothing too crazy or anything, but just so it doesn't move as much, because it just keeps moving and it just keeps making everything more difficult. Then I'm gonna put the signal light on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of jam everything together. And remember, this is the bottom piece, and it's being reattached to the main frame. And you guys, I gotta be honest with you, this is painful to do. This is, I mean, I was praising Toyota just a minute ago, but this has become such a weird situation for me now. It's not easy at all. Now that we have that piece, you kind of just have to hold it there. We're gonna grab the shell, and we're gonna pretty much just sandwich everything together. So that's kind of there. We're gonna go ahead and try to screw some of the screws in to kind of give it some guidance, because it's not aligning 100%, but I'm tired of moving it around. So I'm trying to just screw a couple of screws in to kind of keep it all together without moving all the time. I'm just waiting to hear a snap. Oh, I think I heard it. To make sure that everything is aligned correctly. The screws all going normal. There's not a lot of effort in putting them, which is a good thing, because that means that all three areas are being held together correctly and positioned together correctly, which is a good thing. Oh, there's another snap. That's a good thing. Let's see. Yeah, this one pretty good too. Now, let's go ahead and install this mirror. All the cables are connected still. There's no broken wires. Good news for us. You know what? Let me try to put this. There we go. So I see 4 teeth here. This one, this one, this one, this one go here. So it's pretty much all pressured in. So let's go ahead and give it a try. All right, guys, after a million years of doing this, it's all installed correctly. I don't see any gaps anywhere. There's a mini gap here. So I do see a small gap here. And I don't like that, and I think it's because there's a piece that's out that needs to be in. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and redo it again, because it's very weird to see that like that, and I don't think I like that. So again, we're gonna grab it. I'm gonna show you guys this time. We're gonna go ahead and grab it from here, pressure it all the way down, and just gently pry your fingers in and pull towards you gently. And this would be the way. This would be the one time that I would break the mirror in half. All right, it's out. Just a few. There we go. So it's out now. And let's see if we can fix that particular part without messing everything. All right, guys, sorry for the wait. I know it took forever. but I finally got it done. Everything looks great. There's absolutely no gaps aside from this one right here. There's a small gap here, as you guys can tell. I think it's just the way the item came. I don't think there's a way to tighten it more. I redid it a couple of times and I couldn't find a way to fix that particular portion. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think everything's pretty well coated and pretty well secured. So I don't think that part specifically will matter. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it looks. And hopefully everything works. So let's go install it and see how everything works out. After you are done installing everything and everything looks pretty and you're giving it a quick cleanup, making sure that there's no scratches or anything, we're going to go ahead and install this. So first we're gonna grab the gray cable and we're gonna insert that cable all the way in and make sure that you are able to see it through the other side and try to grab it as well so that way you don't lose it. All right guys, next thing, we're gonna go ahead and connect it and test it out to make sure that it works. So once I connect it and we try to push the button to move this mirror, everything should work. So go ahead and plug this in. And let's try to see if it moves. I see it moving. All right, no cracks, no noises, everything works perfectly. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect once again. And we're gonna continue installing. So again, this cable, let's close this gap over here, put this cable to here, connect it, make sure everything looks pretty. All right, now that it's secure, we're gonna go ahead and start attaching our 10mm bolts. All right, we're all set. So this part is fully secure. We know that the mirror works and it closes just fine. Connect the mirror and we are aware that it works and everything works perfectly. We are going to go ahead and put our rubber seals on. Make it look exactly like the way we had it. That's good. Then we have this connector, which I don't know if I showed it on the video, but this belongs to the handle light. So I went ahead and disconnected to have more clearance to work. We have to disconnect it. Fairly straightforward. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna lift and we're gonna kind of, almost like if we were hanging it to the door panel. There we go. We're gonna make sure that all the cables are positioned correctly. All right. Now, there's a gray cable. Don't forget that one has to be visible at all times. That connects to here. So we're gonna go ahead and connect it. Once we connect it, we can pretty much just clamp these on. We're gonna turn the car on once again and make sure that the doors work and the glass works. If the glass doesn't work, then we have a problem. As you guys can tell, everything works here. Oh, not really. Alright guys, one thing that I forgot to mention, right after I finished installing everything and trying out the glass, I noticed that this cable was on the way to the glass and the glass wouldn't go up. We have to make sure that this glass is behind and to the side of the glass so it doesn't obstruct the glass itself. If not, your glass will not go up. Fortunately, I had to disassemble everything and redo it again. So now let's go back to the portion that I was of the video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now the door's looking nice. We're gonna go ahead and test this out for the 10th million time to make sure that the glass goes up and down as it should. So now it goes down. No noises. Goes up, no noises. Now we can clamp these back on. One thing that I wanted to show you guys is down here, there's a light. And this light it's very hard to install. So what we're going to go ahead and try to do is install it without the plate, which is this one. We're gonna have to do it after the fact because it was very hard to install it from under. So we're just gonna go ahead and do it the way. But just a reminder that there is a light down here that you also have to worry about. So just keep that in mind. Right, now keep in mind that we still have 3 more screws that we have to put in. I'm sorry, 4 more screws. One, which is this rubberized looking screw that goes into the back end. You're gonna see it right away. There's a yellow kind of holder there. We're gonna put that one there. And then we have 2 long ones that go in here. Remember, these are the silver screws that go in here and in here. And then we have a small black one that goes in here. So now we can go ahead and install those. All right, now we can go ahead and put our plastics to make the car look pretty. The one that looks like a handle goes where the handle goes. Make sure you pull this up. And again, it's just pretty much just pressure. There we go. You should be able to see a welcome light there. So if you don't see it, make sure you connect everything again. And then here, there you go, you gotta hear the clap. And then I have to go ahead and connect everything, make sure that everything's connected correctly. I have gone ahead and test every single light, making sure that these ones work, making sure that the window goes up and down, and make sure that the locks work as well. You guys can see the lock working here. And obviously that the candle works. Let's go ahead and close this up. And everything seems to be working just fine. Everything works as it should. Everything is very well placed. This was a very good replacement, and I'm very happy. The car looks great, everything looks great. And like I said, it looks like it was the stock one for the car, aside from some minor issues. But very happy with the outcome, very happy with the way it looks. And as I mentioned, everything works as it should. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, this is a bit of a different video. It doesn't have to do a lot with the Corvette, but if you guys missed it, here it is. But yeah, this is a very fun job, and I'm happy I was able to do it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please do let me know down in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and have a great day.